And let's jump into the NFC Championship game. The Rams, 3.5-point favorites, hosting the San Francisco 49ers.
And we got a spread bet on this game.
I've got a prop on this game.
You got that too, doubling up, baby. Here's what we know for sure, is that you got to decide how you're going to reconcile Shanahan versus McVay in the history. 6-0 straight up, 6-0 against the spread, Shanahan. And this line seems to fly in the face of that. And here's the way to look at it. You could look at it as the following. Starting the year, the 49ers were considered to be about the same team as the Rams. If you actually look at Super Bowl odds, you could say the 49ers were a little bit of a favorite over them. Now, the Rams outperformed the 49ers throughout the season. Why was that? Well, you could say, it was injuries for the 49ers. They had a lot of injuries. They seem to every year, but okay, they had a lot of injuries. Okay, so if these teams are even, or maybe even say the Rams are a little bit better, you could say, oh, those injuries are just an excuse. I mean, excuses. Let's say the Rams are better by the degree that their record says they were. Then what should the line be in this game? Because with no consideration of Shanahan and McVay's history, just what we've seen this year, well, home field advantage for the Rams is low to start with. So because of that, I think it's a situation that you could say, well, it's low to start with because LA doesn't have a good home field and it's in division. Maybe we'll give it 1.5 points. And I think that's being generous. So the line is 3.5. There's no way the Rams this season were 2 points better. And then we haven't even gotten to the fact that Shanahan's beat him 6 straight times. And that doesn't feel like a fluke. This line makes no sense to me. Now, that means I could go with the Rams because I could say the market knows something I don't. I could go with the 49ers. I'm going to officially go with the 49ers. Because why? Here's a good lesson for you to take home. If you don't know why a line is a certain way, be scared. There's a hell of a chance there's something you don't know. But if you understand why the line is wrong, be greedy, embrace it. And I think the line's wrong here because the Rams are LA. They have a coach that is LA, that has podcasts, that, is running into the end zone. They're Hollywood. And they have players that are Hollywood. Who's the most Hollywood defensive players in the league? And I'm not saying in any way, because I might be in the same room as him one day, Aaron Donald is like cheesy or anything. I'm saying the guy's known. Everyone knows he's the multiple-time defensive player of the year.
He's known.
He's known in all 5 boroughs. And Ramsey, probably the second most known defender.
He's up there.
Is it interesting? You got 2 of the most known defenders on one side.
Von Miller's not way far behind those guys.
And then you've traded for Von Miller. You got OBJ. All these additions, I'm not sure how much they meant. Though Von Miller really played well last week. Let's give him credit. It kind of makes sense that people are forgetting about the 6-0 and focusing on, here's that 49ers team that barely made the playoffs versus a Rams team that's Hollywood. This line makes sense. I think a lot of that's crap. To me, best bet on the spread this weekend, 49ers. First, do you agree with that?
I'm passing on this game.
Really?
Yeah. One of the things that you said is the line, you think the line is wrong. It also seems like this is the time of year where the lines would be the absolute sharpest, right?
Then why are we playing?
It's scary.
This is see, I disagree. This is the time of year the lines are sharpest, except for if the public gets involved, and this is the time where the public bias means the most because a greater percentage of the overall betting is public betting. Conference championship games is the second most behind the Super Bowl where the public gets involved the most, and thus if there's a bias in the public's eyes, it's going to show in the line. Why else would the line be the Rams? What's your case for the Rams?
The quarterback play. I feel like they've got such a huge advantage at quarterback, the way Stafford's playing versus the way Garoppolo's played recently, that I can't overlook it. And I don't know that Garoppolo's fully healthy
So the fact that
yet.
just 5 or 6 games ago, Stafford looked horrible and Garoppolo looked fine before his injury that he's not recovered from, you just ignore that.
I don't know that he's recovered from it. I haven't seen him play a game recovered from it.
That's where the expertise comes